What's up guys, how you doing? Welcome to the new channel. My name is James Dubb and we're going to be covering a lot of real world topics on this channel. My usual stuff is gaming. It's pretty much gaming, but I like to stay up to date with what's happening around the world at any specific time. I was going to start with a slightly heavier topic to kick off this new channel, but I figured since I'm Australian and all I'm seeing on my feed right now is the Raygun drama, I would kick off the first episode with this. I started digging into the Raygun drama, trying to suss out, what the hell had actually gone on. I watched this debacle and it was absolutely appalling. At first, I was almost inspired by the fact that she was brave enough to do this. But once I started looking into it, I realized it was actually a lot darker. So Dr. Gunn holds a PhD in cultural studies. She's a researcher and lecturer at the Macquarie University, where she studies the cultural politics of breaking. Graduated with a bachelor's degree in contemporary music in 2009, a PhD in cultural studies. So needless to say, Raygun has now conveniently found herself at the center of a cultural movement. Check out her papers. She very much likes to bring culture into this. She really does. So now she has no shortage of academic material in the future. Good on you, Raygun. And breaking head judge Martin Gillian said the 18-0 score, it wasn't a sign she did terribly, and the breakdancing community definitely stands behind her. Come on, man. Come on, bring it back. But again, this doesn't mean she did really bad. 0 across the board. It's not really bad. It is literally the worst that you could do. I will say what Anna Mears had to say about her was absolutely comical. She said that Raygun was the best in Australia, and that is it's just not true. The IOC approached World Dance Sports Federation, which is primarily ballroom dancing, and the Australian affiliate organisation is Dance Sport Australia, which is also primarily ballroom dancing. Despite never having anything to do with breakdancing, Dance Sport Australia found itself in charge of breakdancing in Australia. So Dance Sport Australia found itself in charge of the Olympic qualification of the Australian Olympic team for breakdancing. Meanwhile, the Australian Breaking Association has been founded just at that point in anticipation for the process, in anticipation for the Olympic qualifier being needed. Now, Raygun, who is actually Dr. Gunn, who is a self-proclaimed breakdancing expert, and we'll get back to that, and also has a PhD in breakdancing, and we'll get back to that. So anyway, it seemed like an obvious choice for Dance Sport Australia to partner with the Australian Breaking Association. But technically, the ABA had just been founded and it technically wasn't a national representative for Australian breakdancing. Like, they weren't known as the creme de la creme association for anything like this by people in the actual industry. So when they organized the WDSF Oceanic Women's Breaking Tournament, it didn't really register on the radars of all the actual breakdancers in Australia. And a lot of the younger upcoming ones couldn't afford to get to Sydney. There was no government grants or help doing this because the whole thing was just so new. And it wasn't advertised anywhere except for the newly founded ABA's website. So again, only 15 women showed up to actually go for this. And a lot of the actual experts, the actual proper ballroom dancers or expert dancers, actually saw this as kind of beneath them. So unsurprisingly, they ran the competition. They had 15 female entrants, many of whom including Raygun, conveniently were already involved with the ABA. Now, Raygun did legitimately beat the competitors in this, but again, I mean, how deep do you want to go? As my uncle once said, how long is a piece of string? Do you know what I mean? So technically she was the Oceanic female champion and she would be representing Australia. Now, Anna Mears talking about her is an actual joke. It's actually a joke, and I'll play you some of the clips right now.
I haven't spoken to Rachel yet, but what I can say is that I love Rachel.
And that's really great, Anna. That's really great. Love's good, but you're the chair. You're the chair of the board. Come on, Anna.
And I think that what has occurred on social media with trolls and keyboard warriors and taking those comments and giving them airtime has been really disappointing.
I mean, I've been in esports for a while, and it's just something you put up with. You know what I mean? I was bronze locked for a long time in LoL, and I had to put up with it.
If you don't know Rachel's story, in 2008, she was locked in a room crying, being involved in a male-dominated sport as the only woman, and it took great courage for her to continue on and fight for her opportunity to participate in a sport that she loved, and that got her to winning the Olympic qualifying event to be here in Paris.
And that is a sad story. I will grant that is a sad story, but is that actually what got her to winning the qualifying event in Paris? Or was it being part of the ABA, which was newly founded upon the sporadic, or upon the almost sporadic on-the-spot decision put forward to Dancing Australia, and them not knowing what to do, so a new foundation was kicked off, which Raygun was already a part of? And then it not being advertised, not being funded, no grants going out, no real competition being flowed down, unless you already knew about this new association and you were on their mailing list or checking their website, which you weren't. There was no one to show up to qualify.
She is the best breakdancer female that we have for Australia.
Untrue. She was the best at that rigged competition. She's most definitely not the best. Not even close. Truth of the matter is, she actually finished in the middle of the pack at both of her most recent world events. In the 2021 World Championship, she finished at number 42 of 78 competitors. And in the Madrid competition just last year, she finished number 30 out of 58. So does that really make her the best in Australia, or just the best available at the time on short notice given the circumstances? And the fact she has a doctoral degree in breakdancing and cultural studies. She's written about it in the past, and she was waiting for the backlash to come out so she could take advantage of this outlet, of this outpush, of this commotion, and write some excellent articles while all the cameras were on her. Could that be a chance?
Now you look at the history of what we have had as women athletes has faced in terms of criticism.
Again, totally understand that. I mean, there's been a lot of history of what women athletes have faced in the last couple of years. I mean, it's hard enough for women athletes, especially when they're competing against men, but this is different.
Belittlement, judgment, criticism, and simple comments like they shouldn't be there.
And competing against men?
She has represented the Olympic team, the Olympic spirit, with great enthusiasm.
Yeah, great enthusiasm.
And I absolutely love her courage.
She is courageous.
I love her character.
A lot of character there, man. She will live forever as a meme.
Yes, Rachel didn't get a point yesterday, but she was there.
Out of 18, she didn't get 1 point. I remember when I was in school, you used to get a point just for writing your name on the paper. Did she forget to write her name on the paper?
It takes great courage to walk out into any sporting environment and try. Have a go. That's what we're encouraging our kids.
If you were encouraging your kids to have a go, wouldn't you have advertised it, gotten government grants, put enough time to make it happen, actually given people a fair go?
How can we continue to encourage our kids to do that when we're prepared to slam our athletes who do it on a global stage? So,
well, we can't actually encourage the kids to do that because it's not happening at the next Olympics. The next chance that breakdancing will have an opportunity to be in the Olympics will be in 2028 when it's in my hometown, beautiful Brisbane.
I am very grateful for Rachel.
She is the breakdancing Leroy Jenkins.
Because I think what she has done for breakdancers and female breakdancers in the future generations will not be really appreciated for decades.
Well, you need to be audited. Chop, chop. I do commend her on her bravery. She's definitely brave and she's definitely entertaining. And I think she would have been better suited for like an opening act. Do you know what I mean? Like the halftime show, like the after party. maybe. Anyway, Snoop Dogg seemed to enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed the first video on the new channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We're going to be pumping out videos on this channel all the time. Leave some comments down below on videos that you'd like me to cover, and I'll see you in the next one.